welcome to this week's episode of LdnOnt TV here on Rogers TV. I'm your host, Bronagh Morgan, and I have been having a great, 3 years now, talking to some of the most interesting people in London. I've been able to talk to some of my, idols or heroes over. One of them, I think you'll probably remember, I got to chat with last season, is Damian Warner, London's own Damian Warner, who is, obviously world's greatest athlete, gold medalist from the Olympics, and he also owns a gym here in London, which... well, he's the name of the gym. So anyways, I am really happy the fact that I get to work there because I work for the world's greatest athlete. But guess what? About, I don't know how many months ago, I found out that my new immediate manager is also an Olympic athlete that I've been hearing about since I moved to London, and here he is. So he's taken time out of his busy schedule to manage somebody like me and many other wonderful fitness instructors at Damian Warner Gym, 2 locations. Jason Tunks, thank you so much for being
thank
here.
You. Yes, I appreciate it.
This is amazing. So I've been in London now, I think, for 23 years, and so I've been hearing about you from people who went to high school with you and talking about your Olympic career. For those few people that maybe have not heard the story of Jason Tunks, can we talk about how you got into the sport that you did in the Olympics? So I think you went to 3, is that right?
I competed in 3 Olympic Games.
Right,
yeah.
and they're throwing sports. So talk to us about those throwing sports and your whole career, because this is so exciting for me.
I'll do it shortly. The story goes is I was a high jumper by nature, and I went to Banting, of course, and I was smoking in the smoking pit outside, and the coach that actually found me was John Allen. He ended up being my high school coach, and he kind of came over and said, "Hey, I'd like you to try throwing," to which I immediately dismissed him. We tried it. I had some success. I think I went off the first year, and then I went on to become a very high level successful athlete in high school with not only the throws, but in all the other ones. I ended up getting a scholarship to go to school in Texas, won the NC2As down there, turned pro. Then 97, I was youngest finalist in the world ever for the discus. 96, my first Olympic Games. 97, world champs, Commonwealth Games, and so on, and so on, and so on. And then it just snowballed after that, yeah. Amazing.
And you still hold a Canadian record.
Yeah, so the high school, we were just talking about this tonight actually, the high school national record was mine from 94, so it's 30 years old, and the national open record is also mine, and it's from 1998, so they're quite old. It's almost time for them to go, I would say. Yeah, for sure.
And we can talk about some people that are going to try and knock those records off.
I don't think there is right now. It's just, it hasn't come about, and I don't know why, but I train a young man right now who maybe has the ability to do something special, but it's one of those things that's really hard to say. It was a very far throw, but I just don't know where the talent is right now.
Everything came together on that day.
For that specific day. I mean, I had a number of throws that were quite far, but it was one of those days, and it was quite young, and I ended up throwing relatively farther in stadium conditions as I got older. The wind plays a big factor in discus throwing too. If you get a good headwind, it'll ride up on top of it.
All right. Yeah. I don't think I'll ever...
No.
I'm going to stick to the things that I am good at, and throwing things is not one of them. But wonderful that we have somebody like you and other people in Canada that we're going to hear from on this broadcast as well that are wonderful at these kind of sports. So talk to us a little bit about what it's like to be an Olympian. So the first one, gotta be amazing.
Overwhelming, the first one was. Yeah, walking into the stadium, you walk into a stadium of 100 and some odd thousand people. I was ready to perform very well. It was too much for me. I was 21, and it was too much for me. I let the pressure kind of go, and I had a very poor performance, and then came back 97 world champs and had a very good performance. And then in my 2000 year, I was 6th. So I threw quite well there, and then 2004 I tore my hamstring about 5 days before.
Oh no!
And finished 15th. That was probably the one I was ready to medal in. We had competitions prior, and when I was throwing in competitions like a week out, would have medaled very comfortably. So that in that aspect was devastating as an athlete. Every athlete will go through something. It was devastating at that point in time, and I retired in 2006 from international, and then finally 2009 totally. Yeah.
But continue to throw, or how do you stay involved in athletics generally?
Once I retired in 2010, I kind of dismissed the sport. I ended up coaching a young man, Jordan Young, who went on to get a scholarship to Arizona. And I vowed never to coaching. I just didn't want to be part of it. My stepson wanted to try some throwing, which he did. And immediately after he started, Julia, my oldest, started training. And then I simply said, though, I'll coach her. And if my other daughter wants to throw, I'll coach those two. And I'll stop. And then I picked up a young man that's with the same age group. But once the three of them are done, I'm kind of done coaching.
But you're still involved in the fitness world because now you are the fitness manager at Damien Warner. So this has been, how long about?
Almost 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to jump into?
So when I retired from sport, I opened up a gym and ended up consequently owning 3 facilities. COVID wasn't kind to small business owners, as you know. So we went one big try and it didn't work out for us. And I've known the GM at Damien Warner forever. And I reached out to him and he was happy to have me. And Damien's brand is so pure that, and I know Damien quite well, that it was an honor to come in and try to elevate his brand. So to work for someone like Damien is a blessing because everybody knows who he is. If I can help him out or help the brand out in any way possible, then I will. And I came in, as you know, firing pretty hard. I have a vision of what I want it to look like and how I want it to take off from the group fitness aspect. And I think in 6 months we've done a really good job. Our growth pattern's 100% with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun working there and seeing how the parking lot is getting more and more full, and the classes are getting more and more full. And you teach too, don't you?
I still do one class, and this is we've talked about this. It's people have a hard time getting up to teach at 6:30, and I'll still do one, and until someone can take it over. But in the meantime, I still get up for one.
Fantastic.
Yep.
All right, so talk to us a little bit about, for those people who have never tried a sport like this.
Like the discus?
Yes.
People think it's more kind of brute strength, and that's what you commonly hear. And we are, like for discus throwers, you have to be strong, you have to be, and it's great to be big and long and tall. But it's finesse, it's controlled aggression. If you can control those movements and you're strong and long, I mean, you'll have tremendous success with it. It's not just about being strong and powerful, because they don't work. My career was twofold. I did one where I was relatively weak and was very successful, and then spent a lot of time in the gym and got immensely powerful, and it didn't really translate into the throw. And that's kind of where you have to learn how to adapt to technique. And if you don't get that, then obviously it's lost.
And you did other throwing sports as well?
Yeah, well, I threw some shot. Like, I was a national champion in both events at one point in time, but it's an event I didn't love, and it's hard on the body, and no thanks.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So in terms of your coaching right now, enjoying it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And so if somebody's going to participate in a sport like this, where does this happen in London?
You can do London, like I'm a coach at London Western, so I coach there. Indoors, we use Thomas Arena 3 times a week. The lifting aspect, I mean, we have a tremendous home gym. Like, it's got turf, and it's an awesome home gym. So the girls, my daughters, we train there. Noah comes over and he does some training there too. Once it gets warm, we go outside. Like, I went to Banting and we put those rings in, I don't know how many years ago, so we still throw there.
Awesome.
Yeah, like they're great. They're competition rings. They're and what I mean by that is, like, if you go to a major championship, they're all supposed to be done the same specs. Ours it mimics that feel.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. And so is high school where most people get started in this sport?
Typically, yes. Yeah. You're going to go to high school, you're going to try for track, and then somewhere along the way you'll say you do club track, and people don't know what that is until you know what it is.
All right. Well, what is it?
Exactly. So it's summer track and winter track. So winter gives you a chance to throw indoors under a club name. So London Western is our club. And we train at London Western or Thompson Arena, and then we compete for that club. When we get outdoors, you pay an annual fee. And then you get a chance to use the coaches 3 times a week, and at that point you go to meets in the summertime, and if you're good enough, they'll take you to major championships or like nationals.
All right.
Yeah.
And so there is a path to
certainly, yes,
becoming an Olympian.
There always is. No path's the same, but there is a path.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, this is the home of a lot of Olympic athletes,
Truly,
just like Jason Tunks. So we got to take a break.
Okay.
All right, so stay with us because we're going to be talking with Jason a little bit more after the break, as well as another Olympic hopeful coming up in Paris, I believe, is the next Olympics. All right, so please stay with us, and we'll be back with more LdnOnt TV after this.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Carbon monoxide is a deadly gas you can't see, smell, or taste.
Homes with fuel-burning appliances and/or attached garages must have working CO alarms installed outside all sleeping areas.
Don't let the silent killer get you. Install working CO alarms today.
Smudging is a very important part in our life as we're all learning to walk the good way. When we smudge, we use the sacred medicine, the white sage, the sweetgrass, the tobacco, and the cedar. It cleanses negative energy and replaces it by a positive energy. When I smudge, I cleanse my end and my eagle feather and start cleansing my breath to have better words. I will smudge my eyes so I could see the better things offered to me. I will smudge my ears to hear the good thing that people have to say. I will smudge my hair to have good thinking from my head. I will bring the smudge to my feet so I could walk in respect with our Mother, the Earth. Smudging is the way we give our prayers to connect our spirit to the Creator. We express gratitude for the gift of life, the learning, and growth.
Welcome back to LdnOnt TV here on Rogers TV. I'm your host, Bronagh, and I talk to Olympians and prospective Olympians, among other people on this show. There's a lot of heroes in London. I get to work for and also chat with one today, Jason Tunks, so Olympian in the throwing events and still Canadian record holder in the discus. So congratulations. And yes, it will someday somebody will come up, but hopefully it's still there for now. And, and so now he's also joined by Julia Tunks, who is a prospective Olympian who happens to be the daughter of Jason. Thank you for being here, Julia.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, Jason. So you wanted to tell our viewers a little bit about Julia's, I guess, journey.
Yeah, I can only imagine that she'd be too shy to say it, but so you're looking at it, she's one of the most talented athletes at this age group you'll ever see. So as a 17-year-old, she won the U20 Pan Am. She was ranked #1 in the world at U18 by 5 or 6 meters. U20, she was ranked #2 in the world. And the all-time list at U18, she was #1. So she's accomplished a great deal at this age. She's the national high school record. She's the national U18 record, national U19 record. She has everything you can think of going forward. So last year we put in play, like, our thought pattern was we're going to win U20 World Championships this year when she's 18, which means she's got another year actually, and then put a pin in the Olympic Games. The Olympic Games would be like a cherry on top. Could we do that? It's really hard to say, based on what she was throwing last year. From what I see this year, one of the hardest workers I've ever seen, this kid right here. If you ask her to do it, she'll do more. You have to almost put a harness on her because it's too much. So the Olympic automatic A standard is 64.50. It's the highest it's ever been. But there's two avenues to get the Olympic Games. One's a point system and one's the automatic. The point system is based on your top 5 average throws. So you get your 5 meets. It's how far you throw, and depending upon how good the meet is, they rank it on points, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever it is, right? So you'll get X amount of extra points depending upon how good the meet is. So looking at her training kind of early on, and we went to training camp in January, she's already in like way better shape than I assumed she would be in. So I think she's got a legitimate chance to hit potentially the automatic standard, if not all standards. So now it's gone from, do we maybe become Olympian, or how do we place at the Olympic Games, and what do we do there? And that's kind of where we're at right now with someone that's never been. And I think the youngest qualifier for the Olympic Games women in history is maybe 22. So she would be an outlier and an anomaly by 4 or 5 meters. So
Incredible.
That's her.
Well,
there you go.
That's you. Fantastic story. Fantastic introduction, Julia.
Yeah.
So congratulations, I guess
Thank
we
you.
should start with.
Yeah, thank you.
So 17 years old,
Yeah.
how, obviously born into this sport, so your dad.
Loosely, I guess.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
But you don't have to do the same thing that your parents do, so why did you decide to pick it up?
So I played soccer ever since I was like really small, probably like 3 years old. And I thought that I was gonna go like pro for soccer, and I wanted to go to UCLA actually to play soccer. And then I kind of hurt myself, right? Then it was getting harder to like kind of play. And then
That's unfortunate.
but it was okay. And then as he said, like my stepbrother started throwing, and I was like, no, like I'm not letting someone like be better than me at like something my family did. So then I kind of stepped in. I was not good at first, like honestly, like I wasn't that good. But
Well, nobody's
no,
good at-
right? But I thought I was going to be, because like he did it, my mom did it.
Right.
But then like I don't know, I fell in love with doing it, and then that's kind of how I started. And now I guess we're
And so
here.
how many years?
13, 14, 13. I would
So
say.
you started,
so 4 years
about
ago,
4
maybe?
years?
Yeah.
Okay. So, so Dad, your reaction when she first decides to pick it up?
You never know what's going to happen. Like I always said, I would never push my kids to do what I did, because it's a big shadow I throw. Not that I'm not that good. It would be.
Well, no, you're also a big person.
But yeah.
You do throw a big shadow.
So it's tough. I'm like, if you try it, and if you like it, that's awesome. That's great. I can help you out, and we'll see how it goes from there. That was pretty much how it went.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So what's it like training with Dad?
Okay. It's really nice. Like honestly, like I don't think I would rather anyone else, but it's like you can also get into arguments, because as a kid you don't want to be told what to do by your parents. So it's different, I guess. Like if a coach who's like not your parent was to tell you what to do, you would be like scared to kind of mouth back and like talk back. But if it's your parent, you're more comfortable, so you just kind of like, no, like you're wrong, like no, like I'm doing it, but like at the end of the day he's right. But it's, as we got older, it's been easier to kind of like accept it and just like do it. But when I was younger, it was really bad. Like we would argue a lot, but it's good now. So I like it.
So fun sessions together.
Yeah.
And extra family time.
Yeah.
All right. So you travel to meets together?
We do, yeah. So I set out a yearly training plan that kind of, we go backwards. Every coach would do the same idea. You pick the major meet of the year, you work backwards on your training, and then you work forwards on what you want to do to accomplish that. So ours, for her to throw against anybody in Canada isn't a possibility, because no one's nearly as good as she is. So we have to travel. So we go to California or Florida or Oklahoma, like to find places and meets that these athletes will be at to chase them down, to try to throw against them. And oftentimes they're 10 years or senior. But
Wow.
it is what it is, right? Yeah.
Incredible. And how does that make you feel intimidated when you see the experience level these people have, or like that's just another challenge?
Yeah, just a challenge. Like if I'm good enough to be there, then like it's not like if I should feel intimidated. I
Yeah,
should
no,
feel like
that's
I'm
awesome.
equal, right? So
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
kinda- yeah.
So walking into your first meet then, was she the youngest, were you the youngest person, or is there an age group that you just start in?
Like my first ever meet?
Yeah.
Oh, it was, no, I think I was probably like the old, it was like a U13 provincial meet, so I was like 12, 13.
Wow.
Yeah, right. So I was kind of the oldest, but I didn't know what to expect, because I had never like thrown in a meet before. And then I remember I was throwing really far in practice, and then I went to this meet and I like kind of threw up on myself, and I was like, I was so upset, and I was like, oh my God, I can't do this, but I still won, but like not by what I was capable of. And then like I just kind of learned how to compete after that. So I guess the first one always kind of sucks, but
Fantastic.
you just build from there.
Yeah. Do you have any other friends that are interested in this sport as well, or?
Yeah, just my sister, and then Noah.
So your sister does, so you all train together?
Yeah, just the three of us. It's nice, actually.
So is this a younger sister or an older?
Younger, she's in grade 9. She's 14.
And where do you think she's going?
She'll go far if she puts in the effort and the work. She just has to kind of get that through her head sometimes. But I think that if she does that, she could probably be better than I will be.
And so does it take a lot to motivate Julia, or you've kind of, because you've seen some success, I guess you're kind of motivating yourself?
It's not motivation, it's like discipline. Like if you kind of just like have it where you have your routine and then you have the end goal in mind, then it's easier to just kind of do it. Like, you know what I mean?
I think I do, yes.
Yeah.
Not at that level. Like
well, I know, but like, it's different, I guess.
Yeah.
But I like doing it, so I keep doing it.
And so for those people who don't know, you've got some records, so what's the distance and what do you think the goal is? So what's your personal best? How far?
59.11.
That's 59
meters, yeah.
So you throw a discus 59 meters, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then what are we looking at, like in terms, like how incrementally, like what's next?
It's whatever I can throw.
Wow.
I'm trying not to put a limit on it because like you never know what's gonna happen. You never know what kind of wind you're gonna get.
Yes.
So I'm not gonna try and expect anything.
Yeah.
Just kind of let it go.
Just give your best every time you go out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to take another break, and then I think we're gonna chat a little bit more about what's next for you. I know you're gonna be going to university and and hopefully Paris as well. So please stay with us. We're gonna chat some more with Julia Tunks after this.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Today, I helped a parent feed their family by connecting them to a food program.
Today, I helped someone connect with mental health supports.
Today, I helped a couple struggling to pay their bills access financial aid.
Every day, 211 navigators connect Canadians to critical government and community programs and services.
211. Help starts here.
Wednesdays are for the Nationals. Watch live coverage of the London Nationals' home schedule on Rogers TV. Catch the action Wednesday nights at 7 p.m.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mario Elia, host of Keeping London Healthy here on Rogers TV. Join us Wednesdays at 6:30 where we discuss health topics relevant to you and bringing on experts in the field to give you the best, most up-to-date information. See you then.
Welcome back to LdnOnt TV. We're having an Olympic episode with a athletic family, Julia, Jason Tunks. So talked a little bit about the family business, I guess, or the family sport, which is discus. Julia on her way up, Jason, her dad, her trainer. What's next? So grade 12. Going somewhere after high school, so that is
UCLA.
So you have you're received a scholarship for UCLA.
Yeah, I got for like a bunch of other schools, but this was the one that I just my heart was there. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So obviously looking forward to some sun and some.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Looking forward to
snow.
All right. So what's it? So talk to us a little bit, I guess, Jason and Julia as well, about being an athlete at UCLA. So what are you looking forward to?
Just competing, like being with the team, being out there. Because I've always wanted to live there, and we grew up kind of going down there for his training camps and my mom and stuff when we were younger. And I think we just all kind of fell in love with being down there.
Right.
And when I took my trips down there, I took a trip to USC and I thought oh, I'm gonna go there because it was beautiful and everything. But then I went to UCLA and I kind of checked it out and got to know everyone and saw the campus, and I was like, okay, no, this is where I want to be. This is kind of where I see myself, and I'm really excited to just get down there and just be with the team and compete and all that kind of stuff.
Fantastic. Yeah. What does the team look like for this sport in college like UCLA?
They're huge. Every track team, you're going to see 50 members for sure. It's a university sport. Football is the monster. Basketball, they make the money, right? And then the track and soccer and tennis, they all have their entities that are pretty big. So it's a big deal actually in the States for track. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And so for people who obviously here in London are going to want to follow your career, how are we going to be able to keep track? So lots of meets that happen at regular intervals throughout the year. How can we follow you?
Social media.
Right.
It's like internet, social media. That's all, yeah.
Okay, and then we did talk a little bit before about the path to the Olympics. So Paris is in 2024?
August, yeah.
All right, so the NCAA meets will be kind of the stepping stone to the Olympics, or how does that work?
Typically, but she's in high school this year, so we've got to run around and find meets for her to go. Like I said, find meets for her to go to. Once this year is done, then next year you've got World Championships, then World Championships, and Olympic Games again. So that cycle comes into play every 4 years.
Right.
So she'll use the NC2A level to kind of springboard that competitive readiness, I guess, to prepare for those meets going forward. But yeah.
Sounds fantastic. Yeah. And then, okay. You do have a life outside discus. Yeah. So what are you going to be studying?
Sociology.
And any goals to, other than following your dad's footsteps and following your mom's footsteps and in discus, what would you like to be if you don't always do athletics for your career?
I had 2 different things I wanted to do. So if I wanted to follow with track and stuff, I would want to be a university throws coach. And then if not, I want to be a firefighter.
Fantastic. Yeah. And so how does sociology fit into all that?
It's just something that I found really interesting. I took a philosophy course this year, and then I was talking to my teacher, and he's like, you might be interested in this, and then I kind of doing some research on it, and I know people who have taken it, and they all said that it was it's really fun and it's really interesting. So I was like, I might as well try it out, and if I don't like it, I can change it, but I don't see that happening.
Fantastic. Yeah. What did you take in university?
Here's the thing. So I went 2 years. I majored in marketing and minored in English education. So my biggest thing for her is I would be the most proud of a university degree, more than anything else, because I didn't accomplish it. It's a big deal. So, and especially something that comes from UCLA, it holds a lot of stock. So, get that first, and anything else would be like cherry on top. But I would truly value a university degree more so than anything else right now.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm. And then if there's some medals and some world championships in discus, you're not going to complain.
No, I might change my tune after that too. But in the meantime, I mean, it's usable, and it's a huge accomplishment. To say that you went to university and finished, and people don't give enough credit to people that have graduated because it's tough. I went 2 years and I thought, well, I could make money turning pro, and I did. And it took me 3 years to start making money. You get stuck, and then you have to perform really well all the time.
Well, I'm actually feeling less intimidated. Me and you, we both got there, and you can get there someday too, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This has been great talking to one of the most amazing athletic families here in London. Just we built great athletes here in the city, don't we?
Tons. Yeah, there's tons.
Yes. So thank you so much, Julia. Thank you so much, Jason, for being here. Thank you for tuning in this week to LdnOnt TV here on Rogers TV. We hope to see you again next week.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.